I'll try and shield him. So,
He's alive. Okay. So immediately as you cast that spell, you notice that the electricity kind of disappears from the room. The sort of kind of pulsing noise that you're kind of hearing back and forth is stops, and the globe kind of goes dark. So the room sort of turns to a real dark blue. And then Alustin, after you heal him up, he's kind of laying on the ground. He kind of coughs. It kind of shakes, kind of uncontrollably for a few seconds. Kind of looks and he says, "Oh, the good cleric. Oh, it's so good to see you."
I'll cast another spell on him.
Okay.
Sacrifice or spontaneous cast.
Okay. I got it. It went to Cormer, but that's okay. I got it. No worries. All right. So you kind of feel that you've kind of healed him all the way up to his full potential there.
Guess I'll ask him how he ended up here.
Yeah. So as you ask the question, he says, "Well," he says, "I've been investigating the Whispering Cairn for quite some time, and I was able to find the area of rocks, and it seemed peculiar to me. So I got some earth elementals, and we moved those rocks. And several days ago, I discovered that new portal, and since you guys have been here, I'm assuming you've seen it. But beyond that, I found this tomb, and I've kind of been exploring it ever since." And so as I was exploring, I went to go out to get some more supplies, and as I went out of the entrance, I was jumped by a dragon. It nearly had me. I mean, I barely managed to escape back into this tomb, and I kind of came through the tomb to sort of look for some sort of magic or tool that would help me defeat the dragon, but I kind of came through, and I entered this damnable room, and that was that. Here I am. And immediately after he kind of talks about that, you sort of hear that kind of see a little bit of the kind of glow come back to the bottom of the base, and you see sort of some electrical movement around the bottom of the base.
Let's get out of this room.
All right. Whoops, I didn't. There's a set of stairs down to the south. I'm sorry, it's not opened. I thought I had it opened on your map. Which way would you like to go?
Down the stairs.
All right, so as you enter the stairs down there, Bose, and I assume everybody's running down there, so there's only about a 5 or 10 foot platform that's there that you guys can stand on, 10 foot that you see, and then there is at the bottom there's kind of this area just to the left of it that kind of descends down 40 feet. There's no stairs, but there's some rungs that are on the side that kind of go down into that area. Everybody's moving that way, I assume? Alright, gotcha. I'll move a Lustin. So you're kind of all kind of in this. Alright. And then I assume, Bose, are you guys going to head down that area? You guys just all going to sort of squeeze into this tiny little area?
Yeah, sorry.
No problem. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to head down and try to stay ahead of the group there.
Okay.
Their light source and whatnot, but
sounds good. So so you guys kind of all get into this little room here. And as you do, like I said, the stair kind of descends down, and there's a room's floor over on the other side is kind of 40 feet down below. And it kind of sparkles. It has, I know you're kind of working your way down the wall, but it has kind of an intricate pattern of scarlet tiles that create kind of a swirling mosaic at the bottom. The metal rungs that you're kind of going down are there, and then you see 2 hallways that kind of extend out of the room, kind of only 15 feet high, so it'd be about 25 feet from where you guys are at, that kind of extend to one to the east and one to the northeast. So I'm going to highlight that for you here real quick. Lustin says, "Good idea getting out of that room, man. As soon as I got zapped by lightning, I got sucked into that thing." Bose, as you get down to the bottom, are you going to go all the way down to the bottom?
Sorry. Did I perceive any traps or anything?
So you see this kind of moving sort of thing that's down there, but you don't really perceive any traps that are there.
Moving down one of the hallways?
Nope, it's actually on the floor. It's kind of this swirling mosaic sort of thing. It's got like an intricate detail to it, and it's kind of got this kind of scarlet tiles. It just shows almost like you would think of like a kind of like a pool of water that's kind of moving around, but it's not water. It's just a mosaic that shows the pictures. All right. The rest of you are staying up top.
I'm gonna climb down. I'll
Okay.
just wait my turn.
Alrighty.
It's just a slope down here, right?
Yeah, so that kind of slopes slowly down through the ground there, but it's not very much slope to it, and maybe about 5 feet or so. All right, and then Alustin, I assume you guys will have follow with you as well.
Yeah, keep them in the middle.
All right, gotcha. So I'll let you guys kind of rearrange your stuff where you want them to be. Chingo's up on top still?
Yeah.
All right, gotcha. And then Carl's up on top as well?
Yeah, well, they're following down. I'm just trying to check this
Sure.
ending down here. So
Absolutely.
Down.
Yeah, no problem. So as you guys get down and Carl and Chingo are still at the top, you guys, there's a large metal wall that kind of drops down immediately between you guys and Chingo and Carl, and you hear it like a click, kind of slams down. So you guys are sort of sealed into this area. And Cormer, to the northeast, you hear a low grumbling sound, almost as if rocks moving against rocks.
Me over here.
And immediately when that happens, you hear a loud roar coming from the north, and you see a large wall of dark red kind of pouring down this this kind of tunnel that's here. And as that occurs, Bose, this area to the north of you also starts to slowly descend the wall. And as you look out, you can hear a loud, almost a cacophony of water that sounds like it's pouring down an ungodly depth. Cormer, you see this large sort of rolling water, and it's just kind of pouring through, almost like the if you've seen the Indiana Jones movies, and the water's kind of shooting out of the tunnel with the when he's in the second one. So there's just this huge thing of water kind of pouring right towards you.
Is there anything down my way that I can?
So the you see that the wall is slowly starting to descend. You can kind of peek over the edge, and you see kind of a dark room, and you see a large area of water and a huge waterfall going down, and it looks like you guys are going to kind of be pointing right towards where that would go into the waterfall once that comes down.
Is there a way around? Is there any
Yeah, so as you kind of look over to the right, you do see that there is a area of land that is kind of at the same level as you. And you think that if you can get out of the wall in time before the water comes, you may be able to get to that slope.
Which way the water's coming from that angle?
Out of what wall?
from the northeast pouring into our room, and it's going to push us right out or whatever?
Yep, water's coming that way. So essentially it's about halfway down that passageway now. And Bose, that crack is now opened about 2 feet where you can now see into the other room. And I will get it opened up for you so you can kind of see where it's at. And you see in the center of the room itself, there's about a 25-foot area of waterfall, and it's pouring deep down in. And you can see down, but it goes. You see that there's ways you can potentially maybe crawl back up if you fell down, but it just kind of goes down into the abyss. And there's this just loud roar of water that's just kind of pouring on through there.
All right. I'm going to move around and to the right here then along this walkway you said.
Don't get this.
Yep, exactly.
I'll make room.
Yep.
Room around it. Now,
Yeah,
if
no
there's a
problem.
Or anything else, let me know.
Yep. So one of you can squeeze through at a time, and as you do, though, the water will continue to move. So I see you guys are kind of running across.
All right, I'm going to command my rope of climbing to kind of create a tie off on the north side.
Okay.
I'm gonna use
Up here, so that what I'll do is I'll create a kind of not a hang line, but a grab line.
Uh-huh.
A rope across there and have it tie off. Anything you can grab onto, rock sticking out or whatnot, and then the same thing on this other end.
Okay.
I'm just gonna, throw it across and compel it to bind as tight as it can,
Gotcha.
north and south.
Alrighty. And then Tanner, you were going to try to do stone shape?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and plug this northern passageway that the water's coming down.
All right.
I got a stone shape. It'll be 22 cubic feet of
Gotcha.
stone.
Just
Moved from that corner.
Yep.
To the
Just so you know, the water is moving very quickly, and you are not positive that you'll get it off in time before the water is coming through. Do you want to stay there and cast it regardless?
Yeah, because I'll get most of the water, right?
You could potentially, if you stay with the water, and you'll probably get hit by the water, so you need a concentration check. But if you can,
Really big water pressured stone.
yeah, if you could pass that, you potentially could have the stone close it off, so it would stop the water flow through the area. But you definitely would have to do a concentration check to make sure that you can make that. Because you'll get slam basted with water. Okay, sounds good. So I assume the rest of the people are going to be working kind of down the hallway there. So go ahead and give me a concentration check, and then I'll give you. You're going to need to be. Let's see. Oh yeah, easily passed. So so you're able to kind of get slammed by the water, and you kind of continue to cast it, and before the water completely submerges you, you're able to get your final verbal words out to cast the spell. Now I need an acrobatics check for me, please, to see if you can stay standing or if you're going to get swept with the water. Or actually, let's do a swim. Swim will be better. Alrighty, so you're kind of knocked prone and you're riding the wave kind of through the tunnel. So the wave is kind of right where you're at right now. Cormer, go ahead and do your move. I saw kind of where Razik ended up. So wave of water is kind of right there with you. Alrighty, so you're able to kind of get around if you want to and over to the edge there. There we go. Lustin will be able to get to where the rope is at. So Tanner, you kind of are riding the wave, so to speak. So the water is there. If you want to, you can do another swim check and see if you can try to get your bearings and slow down.
Yeah, I imagine the flow's dissipating, huh? Because
it is. Yep, it is.
No. Earlier in the
There you go. So you're able to kind of get your bearings and kind of stop yourself from flowing. The water's kind of pouring by you as you're going, so you're kind of stuck right there at that point. And then I assume we'll have a Lustin kind of come around as well, and Cormer's able to move around. So the water kind of slowly starts to slow down, and it slowly empties down into the into this kind of large waterfall that's there. So when you guys are now kind of have things that sort of calm down, you guys sort of see that the Red River kind of plummets over the edge, kind of like I talked about, and kind of goes down. Now that you've really been able to see, it's about a 30-foot diameter, and there definitely looks like there's room where you'd be able to climb down, sort of on the area where you guys are at. You could sort of climb down into the area where the waterfall goes. The stone here is all pretty slick though, so the stone you guys are walking on has a lot of red spray that's kind of sprayed up on it, and it's obviously impossible with all the mist and everything coming up from the water to tell how far down it goes. You do see that this does appear to be kind of the continuation of the river that you guys had seen before, and then you do see that there's some steps over on the far end of the of this dirt path that goes around the waterfall that kind of goes up into another room. Tanner, you're able to now stand up. The water flow has pretty much stopped at this point, so you're able to stand up and move at a normal speed. Nice job, guys, managing that. That was really good.
Sweet.
I'll unlock them. I'm sorry, I didn't unlock them. My apologies.
I'll go down here and tell the guys I got an airwalk spell if anybody's strong enough to help each other across. I don't know if Razik still has his on, but I could cast it.
I still have mine on. I was gonna help people go down.
Oh, okay. All right. I won't spend mine yet then. I'll save it and we can use it on you later.
So you guys are gonna go? Yeah, go ahead.
was trying to understand, is there a walkway that goes spiraling down around it?
No, that's actually, so there's a walkway that kind of comes around here that you can see. The brown on the map is a walkway, but there's not a walkway that goes down into where the river is, but it's rough enough where you definitely could climb down the wall if you wanted to. There's a lot of handholds and footholds that you could use, to try to climb down as well, but you guys have airwalk too, and there's definitely room where, at least from what you can see in the mist, that it appears like you could airwalk down through and not be in the water itself, so.
Pretty quick because
And that would take us down to those
It would actually,
steps down there?
no, actually you could, this area that's level, the brown is actually level, so you could actually walk around the hole itself and then get to the steps. The waterfall area that's below you can't see, so essentially that circle that's in the center there, I'll move move my block, so maybe I will, I'm hooked on Tanner. So this, that right in the center of that circle is kind of where you would, where the waterfall is at. So it's kind of a big hole. So this is kind of a big hole here that goes down into the water. So this area is just sort of standard land. It's just really slippery where you guys are all at. So you could walk around the edge to the to those steps if you wanted to. It's a long story. So Cormer, as you kind of edge up a little bit closer, you notice that there's an entranceway into the kind of where those steps go, and the floor is sort of this red, almost looks like glass kind of floor that's right there.
If the water slowed down, can I check back up there and see if there's a way for me to disable that stone
Yeah,
door?
absolutely. Matter of fact, there's no water flow there now. It's just kind of wet, so there's a lot of water that's kind of laying on the floor and whatnot. Yeah, absolutely, you can check it.
Alright.
So you're going to have to climb kind of up to the door itself there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright. Do that, and I'm going to try disable.
Okay.
See if I can get that door open. Iron.
So yeah, you kind of mess around with it, and it's definitely a mechanical trap. You can tell that, but you just can't quite figure out how to get that to untrigger itself. So to reset the trap itself, or to disable it. Maybe it's on the other side. You're not sure, but you definitely looked here and couldn't find anything.
Okay. Can Carl and Chingo on their side try and lift it?
Potentially. You got Razik, I think, burrowing through, coming over.
Ain't doing much with his strength.
So no, Chingo's not able to kind of push against it or try to knock it down of any sort. Razik, I'm sure you're going to try to guide them to help them with that.
Actually, if can I take a 20 on
I'm
it?
trying to see if there's
Taking our time
thing
and
that
looking.
Bose was looking for on the other side. I see if it's on this side.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, you could.
I'm not very good at
That's fine.
stuff.
You could try to take 20, but it's thick enough that despite his modifier, he wouldn't be able to break through it.
Okay. All right. Well, then I guess they're there until I don't know if it resets there after a period of time or not, but we'll see. To catch up with us.
So Razik, you kind of look on the other side, and you don't see anything that appears to be able to disable that trap either.
Good time to have a pick. Spend some time mining or whatever and dig our way around.
Need a teleport spell.
Oh, that's a big use. Yeah.
And I tried putting a piece
All right.
If we rested, I could stone shape it, but I'm out of them today.
Yeah. I think we're just gonna have to suck the egg on this one unless you see how the river connects, and I don't know if we really want to send these guys down the river and risk.
I could. we could airwalk Chingo and have Carl ride him.
Okay.
Well, Shingo's not as important here as maybe Carl.
Yeah, he's your closer.
Strong.
He's your guys' closer.
Yeah, he's the killer.
Well,
These
I'm
are-
just trying to think of how we could get both of them. You know.
Otherwise, we leave
What
him
is
in-
the electrical room? Is electricity back?
Oh, great question. So when you look, it appears to be exactly like it was when you first initially looked into the room.
But the electricity doesn't trigger unless you go into the thing, right? The blue thing.
That's your guys' feeling, yes.
Well, let's wait a little bit, and as long as the
Okay,
water
so
isn't
I
running,
have
let's see if
Carl through.
You're going to have Carl run through?
Yeah.
Okay. So it immediately triggers an electrical bolt that shoots across and hits Carl. Carl's able to succeed. So I'll apply it to Carl. But unfortunately, Carl is immediately sucked into the globe and is floating inside the globe.
Well, he's safe.
Yes, he is safe.
Or something.
Yeah, no problem. Meanwhile, yeah, go
Is there
ahead.
any snow in the globe?
No, unfortunately, but that would have been really nice. So, Gormer, as he's checking, Lustin kind of comes up to you and kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, "Oh, old friend." He's like, "You have grown very, very powerful since I've last seen you. I think your knowledge has probably by far surpassed mine."
Probably.
Oh, he has evasion, so he didn't take damage. Does he still get sucked in?
Okay. All right. Yeah, he still gets sucked in.
Isn't it like he didn't get hit though?
What's that again?
Isn't it like he didn't get hit? Because the evasion doesn't.
Yeah.
Evasion causes him to not take damages.
Hang on. Let me check. 1 second. Yes, you're correct. Nope, you're right. Actually, now that I reread it, well, okay, so he missed that, but you need to do a second reflex save then.
Is it a supernatural deal?
I misread it. So it said initially, hang on 1 second, let me just read it again. Nope, he's right. He misses. Yep, so he's good. Thank you. So he's able to move into the next room without any difficulty. I misread it. So it's, yeah.
So before it recharges, can Chingo make a bolt for it?
You could try.
All right, he'll try.
So it immediately fires another lightning bolt across.
Run, horsey.
Sorry, Chingo. Chingo succeeds his save, though. That's good. Ooh. Wow, 17 again. Does 17, can you do another reflex for me? Or I can apply it if you want. Oh. But Chingo gets sucked into the ball.
Well, I guess he'll be staying on.
He's safe now. So you see,
Safe now.
yeah, he looks like the Bronco in full stride as he's floating in the cube, in the globe, I should say. All right.
He's a globetrotter.
Nice, nice.
We'll get him on the way back.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do.
Can I carry Carl around?
You guys gonna jump in the river? Or are you gonna?
No, I still have to walk on.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. So you're able to come all the way back around then.
So what's that 5x5 thing down there?
So
It's that big hole.
yeah, exactly. That's just kind of indication where the water's kind of pouring down, and then the edge around it, near where you guys are, is just the wall. So, all right. So, Cormer, as you look inside, so you kind of look.
Lots of red.
What's that again?
Lots of red.
Lots of red, yes. So as you kind of look into the into this, you see that there's a hall there that has what appears to be 6 statues, kind of standing, kind of as watching. 6 statues of Winduke nobles. There's 3 against each wall. The center statue in the east stands on a stone door. The statues all have cupped hands in front of them, and floating on a cushion of air above their hands are intricate carvings of like strange buildings and towers. The statue before the door does not hold a carving. The air here is cold and moves kind of in faint whispers. There is a passageway that kind of opens up to the north, and you see that there's a large room in there as well. And as you look at the floor, it's actually not glass, it's red ice. And there's sheets of it that extend along the floor of both rooms.
So before we get into this room, I'm guessing we don't see any more footsteps because the footsteps we're following were Lustin's, right?
Well, you don't see any more footsteps here.
You were saying something? As we look on the floor, I think we got a bit cut off there.
What was the what did I cut out about? I'm sorry.
The
As
red
you look
ice
on the floor, and then
Oh yeah. So when you look at the floor is not actually glass, but it's red ice, and there's sheets of it that kind of extend along all the floor within both rooms.
What did we do in that other room when they had the hands held out? Didn't we like put silver pieces in them or something?
Wow. Yeah. So 8 months ago, when you guys were in the Whispering Cairn, yes, you put coins in their hands, I think. Now these 5 of the 6 have little buildings, like little tiny figurines of buildings, sort of floating in their hands. Buildings that you've never seen before. They look like ancient architectures and stuff. But the one in the middle on the east does not have anything in his hand, and his hands are kind of held out as well.
I think we need to put something in his hands. Cormer dolls.
You guys can move a Lustin wherever you want him kind of to be, or I'll have him just kind of... I'll move him. He'll stay close to the group. So Lustin's like... He's like, he says, throughout my literature, I kind of looked into these, and these statues, they're obviously... I think this is one of the great tombs of the Windukes, and I think this actually is Icicle's tomb, in fact. He's the great guy that... he's just amazing.
Well, I definitely don't want to be the first one in the.
Razik's got airwalk.
I'm going to take Chingo off our board, all right? Because he's going to be out for a while, so... So you guys going to have Razik go in? Is Razik going to go in? That's the other question.
I don't know. What do you guys want to do? I just like randomly volunteering people other than myself.
Oh, sorry, I was like, where's my character? Alright, I'll go check.
Oh, super slow.
And,
Yeah.
Take a perception deal there.
No problem. It's loading, so obviously something's coming in the future.
That's why I'm like.
All right. Go ahead.
Perception, little stealth. Start working my way in there.
Yeah. So as you're kind of looking, you see that there is a small lever that's kind of right next to the statue. It's on the north side of the statue. Sorry, that is right next to the door. I don't know if you guys can see the door there. And it's on the wall, so it's literally like right next to the door on the northern side of the door. However, the only other thing that you see in here is that you see that the statues do hold these miniature little statuettes of buildings, and there's definitely a little air that's kind of, it seems to be floating on.
Deaths in that.
Well, it seems to me that we're supposed to find and put one of those things on that empty cup.
Get anything
Sorry,
that
forgot it
was a
was
small
muted
city?
again.
What's that again? I'm sorry?
Wonder if we got any small statuettes of buildings along our way. I'm looking through our stuff.
I think you guys did on the first, in the first one, but I thought you guys sold them. Or you know what? I think Core had them. Core had them in his inventory.
Ah, shuckies. I would have definitely kept that for my figurine collection. So I knew I didn't have it.
Yeah.
So there's, I'm sorry, there's a lever where to use an arrow to point.
I sure can. 1 second. It's on that wall, just north of the statue. So it's like literally right next to. It won't let me go down, but it's kind of like right there. And there's a door immediately behind him. He's almost standing in front of the door, like it's blocking, like he's blocking the door.
That's the one missing the statue too, right?
Yep, that's the one missing the statue. That's exactly correct.
All right, I'm gonna stealth in another 15 feet.
Okay.
Another stealth roll, another perception. Take another examination of what things look like.
Alrighty. So as you get close to the statue, you look at the statue, and this statue does not. It's supposed to look like all the other statues, but it actually doesn't look like all the other statues. The other statues are supposed to look like the Windukes, like you've seen all the time, where kind of the gray stone face and has the robe. This has the robe over the head, but this actually looks a lot different. This one actually has sort of a mechanical face, almost of like a machination or a mechanized type of picture, something that appears almost robotic. I'm going to put the picture of it in there. And that way you can kind of see sort of what it looks like.
Oh, I thought you were saying it was a right thing.
And immediately when you do that with your perception, you see his elbow sort of lean back just slightly, a little bit, and he kind of pushes down on that lever. Go ahead and roll initiative, guys. Of course, the one time I want the picture to be big, it won't be big for me. So I thought I had a picture of this guy, but I guess I don't. Oh.
Just Quake. I forgot about that.
So I'm going to share a sheet. That's kind of what he looks like. That's his token. So kind of looks mechanized almost. So immediately when he hits that, that's kind of the surprise round for you, Bose. So
Over here.
actually, that's his initial move for.
Yes, earthquake. We were just discussing that.
All right.
And immediately when he does that, there's two portcullises that distend both in front of you guys as well as on the other side of the room. So it essentially makes the room a rectangle. and I'll draw lines across it. So you guys can see inside there, and you can see these portcullises drop down. Essentially locking bows inside the room with this thing. Alright, Carl's up.
I can't do anything.
Okay. So just kind of hold.
Yep.
Alrighty. Bows, you're up.
I'm eyeballing options.